All right, what is it, Pops? Why does the salesperson keep saying, I have to go talk to my manager? You sold cars for 43 years. You were that manager. Demystify it for us. What are they doing back there when they go to the manager's office?
Well, I know a lot of people think that the phones are bugged in the salesperson's office, and they think that the manager and the salesperson are listening in to what the customer's saying. I can tell you honestly, in 43 years, I never worked in a dealership that did anything like that. So I don't know that that would be the case. But truly what happens, and I know customers hate this, is the sales manager will debrief the salesperson to find out exactly where the customer is at on the car deal, and they will strategize as to how to close that deal. That is really what's going on. And oftentimes when it takes a few minutes, it's because the sales manager is working with his entire sales staff. So he might be working 3 or 4 different deals at the same time while trying to debrief 3 or 4 different salespeople.
But Dad, why does the salesperson even have to go ask their manager? What's going on there? Why do they even have to use that line? I guess you're saying it's because they're strategizing, but doesn't the salesperson already know what they can do? Or do they actually have to ask the manager for permission to reduce price or things like that?
It depends on the store. In a lot of stores, they don't. The management doesn't give the salespeople the power to say yes or no, or to actually negotiate a car deal. And that's left up to the manager, because in many, many stores, they believe that the salespeople will take the path of least resistance and they won't work to hold any gross profit. So by having to talk to a sales manager can mitigate exactly how much profit gets given away on a particular deal. The biggest thing that a salesperson and a sales manager are going to strategize over typically is cash down. How much money is the customer going to put down, and monthly payment? Because as we have discussed ad nauseum over time, 85% of all customers are payment buyers, and sales managers and salespeople just want to get customers to concentrate on the payment, not the price. So those are the areas that they're going to concentrate on. The sales manager is going to ask, where's he at payment-wise? Well, the customer wants to be at $600. How much do you think you can move him on that payment? How much money is he willing to put down? Well, he wants to put down $2,000. Can we get them up to $3,000 or $3,500? These are the things that they strategize over. And it's like playing chess. The sales manager's trying to be 2 or 3 moves ahead so that they can figure out where that meeting point will be, where the customer will feel as if he won and the dealership will feel as if they won.
Now, that is another reason why the dealership does this, to create like a good cop, bad cop situation. Like the salesperson's the good cop, the manager's the bad cop. Like, is that another thing going on here?
Absolutely. The salesperson is trying to ingratiate himself to the customer, saying, hey, I'm willing to go do battle on your behalf with that son of a in that office over there. He's such a pain in my, and so yes, they create this atmosphere that the salesperson is on the customer side, because all the salesperson wants to do is sell a car. Damn it, I have a family to feed. And the sales manager is the ogre who all he wants to do is grab as much money as he can. So yes, they paint the sales manager as the bad cop. The salesperson is the good cop. The salesperson's trying to really let the customer know that he's on their side, which he's not. And if push comes to shove, the bad cop will actually come out kind of like with a billy club and try and threaten the customer to buy the damn car.
Now, Dad, people have heard stories of the salesperson going to talk to the manager, and next thing you know, they're out in the back smoking a cigarette or eating lunch. Has that ever happened as well? Like, is this just a stalling tactic too, to try and drag out the process and kind of grind the customer down? Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever seen that in your career?
Yes, I have seen that in my career, where a salesperson will say, let them sit for 5 minutes. I'm going to go have a cigarette, or I'm going to go grab a slice of pizza. But probably 98 or 99% of the time, they really are strategizing on how to close a deal. The one thing you have to realize is that the salesperson doesn't make anything going in that day if they don't sell a car. The sales manager gets a small salary, but a big commission based on gross profit that they produce on any given month. So neither one of those parties wants to sit there and just do nothing and make nothing for the day. So there really is where the salesperson is sharing with the sales manager where he thinks he can move the customer to. The sales manager's trying to think, okay, where do I need to put the payment? I know it's more than what he wants to spend, but can we move him? And that's what they're literally doing. Now, I preferred, I guess later in my career, and I don't want to say it's because I was lazy, I wasn't. I realized that it was best to empower salespeople to actually be the ones that could negotiate the car deal with the customer, that there shouldn't be this running back and forth between the subservient salesperson and the magnanimous manager in the back, the guy behind the curtain. That didn't really need to exist. That was such an old school thing that dealers just thought that had to be the way to do it. But we had a desking program where the salespeople could actually work the deal with the customer without having to run back and forth. And at the end, when they made their deal, they would print it out and they would bring it to the sales manager to make sure that there weren't any errors. And I think, A, customers prefer that. B, salespeople love to be empowered. They want to be the ones to be able to make that decision. And C, it allows management to work on other things like figuring out ways to get more people into the dealership, not sitting around strategizing how to actually make the car deal.
So I guess that's my final question, Dad. As customers, should we let the salesperson, sales manager play these types of games, or should we really just say, hey, I want to work directly with the manager, or obviously find a dealership that doesn't do this type of crap?
Well, I think you're best off finding dealerships that don't operate in this manner anymore. If you find yourself in a dealership where they still do this dance of, well, let me go talk to the manager, circumvent the dance. Just say, I've got a great idea. Either bring the manager out to me to talk to me, or take me to the manager's office. Now, I know you've got a sales staff of 10 people. The manager's not going to want to be tied up with me in his office because it'll keep him from making other deals. So if you can get in there and actually get in the sales manager's office, he'll cut to the chase quickly because he knows he has 3 or 4 other salespeople ready to work a deal. So if you find yourself in that position, either try and get the sales manager's office or try and get the sales manager out to the salesperson's desk so you can cut out all the crap.